Welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen and I am continuing to work specifically in my kitchen, spring cleaning and refreshing. So I'm getting some paint. I have some touch-up paint I want to get done today in 2 different colors. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thankful that my basement is tidy enough that I can actually find things. And let's see. Use this, definitely. And I have a paintbrush upstairs, so I won't get out a paintbrush, which I probably don't even have down here. And I'm also going to need a drop cloth, which I'll just use this. I don't really think I need it, but I don't. At the same time, I don't trust myself. Here's my paintbrush. This is where I patched some holes, and you can't even see the dap, but I know if the light hits it just right, I will see it later, and then I'll be sad if I don't deal with it now. Then over here, first of all, these, I'm going to dap this, and then this is where the wood came through. I'm going to get a razor blade to hopefully get this glue off, but you can see as the house settles, you know, this just happens. And we'll get up there as well. But I feel like I need to repaint all of this. And then I need to do this. Before I get started though, I'm just gonna get the dishwasher filled with these dishes, get my crock pot put away from yesterday, get the trash area dealt with, and then I can go ahead and get started with what I want to get started on. I also feel like I need to clean all of the walls here because it's the same color, of course, as this wall that I want to touch up, because while I have that paint out, I might do some repainting here. So lots going on today.
What are you doing?
Me? Home refresh, kitchen edition.
Do not do that in front of the camera. Delete that clip.
Gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of talking, the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. Gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
Might as well get my laundry switched over too, just to get it ended. I had spots on this, so I'm just really hoping that came out. My favorite brown Snoopy sweatshirt. You know how you get those like oil spots? Also, back in the day, when we were more economically aware, I would reuse dryer sheets because all of the people that tell you how to save money would say you could get more than one use out of a dryer sheet. It would be better to get one of those wool balls, because did you know that when you do that, you can actually get spots on your clothes from that reusing dryer sheets? So it was never the greatest plan. All right, to the kitchen. The first thing I'm doing is getting my kitchen curtain down, and then I'm going to just clean up around the window, get everything nice and clean and ready to paint. So I start removing things and wiping down things, but I quickly realize as I'm thinking about it, I should really start with the wall paint. The only thing I have to do in the white is this window. And at the time I was thinking I should go upstairs and touch up the door in the upstairs bathroom while I have the paint out. So I decided to do the window last since it's in the same paint. But then as I got doing everything else and the time was quickly going by, because time always flies when I have a project, I realized that I was not going to get to the upstairs bathroom. So either way, I wipe down the window, around the window, so that it's ready for paint, and then I see some dirt above the window. So if you give a mouse a cookie, I get out the wall cleaner, clean above the window, and all the while thinking about, should I touch up this soffit? I don't know. So the DEP wall cleaner I have recently found works so amazingly well without tearing the paint off of the wall, which of course is important. So I'm using that, and then around the window, an all-purpose cleaner is just fine. I do like to use like Mrs. Meyer's, and those type method is another one that I use. One of the reasons I like to use it is then when I have to do something heavy duty like a bleach or an ammonia, I don't have to worry about what I have already used. I don't have to worry about creating fumes. Ammonia in bleach is very deadly. So it works out for me to use something that is non-toxic in case I really need something toxic. Then I'm using DAP to fill in the cracks, which is paintable. So this is what I just dapped. And this is one I haven't dapped. So that just tells you how good that does. And then I can just go in with the paint and touch it up. I really can't believe I've never thought to do this, but so often when I'm doing a spring clean, I get wrapped up in things like countertops, in the refrigerator, in the pantry, and things that I kind of tend to do regularly anyway, and then I wear myself out. So I'm really trying to focus on things that never get done, areas that don't get cleaned often, and then doing these little touch-ups. And I really think that is a great way to do a spring refresh. There you go. That's that same corner. So I'm just going to let it dry. I had decided to do the DAP before I got painting. That way it would have plenty of time to dry. And my DAP was getting a little dry. And I think it's because maybe I didn't put the lid on tight enough when I was doing it in the upstairs bathroom. But if you use a little bit of water, and I found since I was using my finger that putting some water on my finger really helped to reactivate it. And I'm checking out the wall here over the counter. That's what I was showing you. It didn't really pick up on camera, but it is very dirty. We do a lot of meal prep over here, so you're using blenders and all those things. And I think some of the oil maybe from the stove can even get over here. And then I noticed this spot that was very damaged, so I thought, okay, I'm going to dap it and just see how well I can do. I'm not the best at this, honestly, but I think better is better than not trying. So if it looks better, that's my goal. It doesn't have to look perfect. It's not going to look perfect, but it's going to look better than it did. And I am using an eggshell or satin. Whatever the one is that's just a little bit flatter than semi-gloss is what the wall paint is. And then the paint around the window is a semi-gloss. And I am using semi-gloss because I used semi-gloss the first time. And so originally I was thinking I'm just patching up. Then I end up doing the whole window trim. And that kind of, I'm learning that a lot of times it's best to do the whole area and not just a patch. And of course I have my supervisor handy. He is keeping a very watchful eye on every single thing I do. So moving things out of the way and continuing to clean the wall, and I knew I was going to have to move this stuff anyway, so I'm putting it all on the island and getting everything wiped up. I rarely move my Keurig cups. And so when I show you the countertop here, look at this mess. You can tell that I hardly ever move this. So getting it wiped up, I'm using the green grass scent of Mrs. Meyer's. This is absolutely probably my favorite scent right now. I do change my mind, because I'll get a scent that I enjoy and then spray it and think, "Ooh, this is my favorite." But that green grass, it doesn't smell like grass to me at all, so I'm not quite sure how it got its name, but there is a fresh springness about the scent, so I couldn't help myself but wipe down the counters too, because when you see dirt, you just got to deal with it. Moving everything off the counter was a great opportunity, and then I was using a green scrubby to get off some of, the stains, and I would definitely not recommend doing that because I did scrape some paint off. Luckily, I was doing paint touch-ups, so it was okay. But thankfully, I was able to see, because the lighting's not the best under the cabinets, that I was scraping off paint. So then I stopped using the green scrubby and stuck with the microfiber cloth with the depth. These walls were just painted for the first time, or with this color, 3 years ago, so it hasn't been terribly long, but definitely long enough to get little nicks and scrapes and all the things. I'm thankful I still like the color. I actually had it custom made at Sherwin-Williams. Passive was a gray that I had used on my old cabinets. And then I took that color in to Sherwin-Williams. It was a Sherwin-Williams color. And I asked them to back it up so that there was just enough of the gray in there to not be white. So it does present as white unless you're looking at it with the cabinetry. And then you can tell that it's a very pale gray. Trying to avoid these. Back to the gray. The only trouble I have had with a custom made color is I went to a different Sherwin-Williams and they didn't seem to think they could replicate it. So I keep going back to the same Sherwin-Williams. They think it's no big deal. The formula is right online. So I don't know if that's a typical thing that would happen. And I don't know what would happen if I tried to, say, get it matched at Lowe's or Home Depot. The other thing I'll say, if you like Sherwin-Williams paint, I have been told, and I have found by my own experience, that Sherwin-Williams paint bought at Lowe's or Home Depot is not the same as getting it right at Sherwin-Williams. It doesn't perform as well. So if you think, I don't know what the big deal is about Sherwin-Williams, I've tried it. Make sure you've tried it from Sherwin-Williams. I wonder if it's true for Benjamin Moore. I actually did just notice we have a Benjamin Moore in our area that is brand new, but I have never tried that paint before. So now I'm getting out the paint and I'm getting started on the walls. I had bought some paint when we had a professional painter come and do some of our walls, which was such a treat. And I had bought her some paint. So this was one of the cans. It had not been opened yet. I'm telling you, I probably stirred this for 10 minutes. It took a long time for it to get because there's that, it looked like oil on the top. It took a long time to get that completely incorporated. And then I didn't want to waste paint. I didn't want to pour it into a tray. First of all, I was scared because it was a full can of paint. But secondly, I just find that I end up using more than I need, or excuse me, I end up pouring more than I need, and then it's hard to pour it back in the can, all that. So I'm just dipping my little roller in the paint. Now I'm going over just the spots where I dabbed and anywhere that I see a flaw. And I can tell you that looking at it after it dried, I can definitely tell where I painted and where I didn't paint. So at some point when I get that color back out again, I am going to go over the whole wall. And I think, just discoloration from acids in the air and different things like that can do that. I didn't have that problem over the countertops, but I definitely had that problem over where I was doing the whole wall. So that will be happening here hopefully soon. This was probably one of the most satisfying things I have done in a long time. And just having that little roller, I love those little rollers. Honestly, I would probably paint a whole wall with these little rollers. I don't know what it is about them. I just love them. They're so easy to control. But it just was nice you know, it's the next morning for me right now, and it's just so nice to wake up and see it's all nice and fresh and everything is clean. But I have to say, my supervisor got completely sidetracked and distracted. He forgot he was supposed to be looking and watching and seeing what I'm doing, and he got completely distracted by this plastic, and he was very busy being a ninja and attacking my drop cloth. Paint tape is my best friend because I am not good at doing edges without getting it where it's not supposed to be. And the key to paint tape is you want to take it off as soon as possible. When you can't take it off soon, you want to score it. So the edge where it touches paint, I will take like a butter knife that has a little sharp edge or something like that and just score it and then pull it off. That way I'm cutting any paint it might grab. I used to really have that problem with Behr paints. Behr paint, the beauty of it, it's very thick. So it often covers in one coat, but it's almost like a rubber. So if your paint tape grabs it, you could peel away a very large portion and really make a mess for yourself. So that is the one drawback I have had to the Behr paint. Sherwin-Williams is much thinner than Behr, but I do find it very easy to control. What's so hard about Sherwin-Williams, I mean, it is expensive. They all are. They'll say, you know, they'll ask you what expense, you know, how high you want to go. The Behr that I bought, the semi-gloss is Behr. And they were saying the one I bought, because I bought second to the cheapest, and they were like, you know, you're going to need more than one coat. But because I was using it as a touch-up paint predominantly, well, that's not true because I'm going to do my trim in the bathroom and my door. But also, I am going to do a primer coat anyway because I am painting over either the lacquer or the oil-based paint they prime those things with, or it'll be the door that's already stained. So I had forgotten about this corner, so I'm getting the sandpaper to what I had dapped before, and in some spots it pulled off all of the dap. I'm telling you, those corners are so hard. Maybe someday I will get some corner molding and put that up. I did the plastic corner molding so that it would be see-through, and I really didn't like it because over time it just seemed to get dust and cat hair and such inside of it. So if I were to do it again, I would do wood. So I'm just touching it up with a child's, you know, craft brush, and then I'll go over it with my little roller. I love that feeling when you get into a project and time just flies, and then you look up and you just can't believe how late it is. I just love that feeling of being kind of in the zone and being in your own head a little bit as you get your projects done. I think that's why I just love this type of work. It's not brain work at all, and it's making things immediately look better. It's like vacuuming. That's why I love vacuuming, because you can put your vacuum over a spot and it is immediately better. I also love washing carpets for that reason too. Anything where I do it and it just looks immediately better. It's always discouraging to do a task and then it doesn't look as good as you want it to look. I think that's why I don't like cleaning the oven. But this was just a super satisfying day. It's a great day, but that is not dampening my spirits at all. If anything, I'm thinking I'm getting inside jobs done and I'm going to feel so good and so ready to go outside when the weather is better. So that's why I'm glad I was starting my spring clean a little early for me to get going at all before February was over, which was kind of when I started processing all of this, is a huge improvement. Usually it's like April before I am spring cleaning because it just doesn't feel like spring. But it's actually the ideal time to do it now when the weather's not great. And then when the weather is good, I'll have all my inside jobs done, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and I will be ready to go outside and get a lot of outdoor chores done. I definitely want to get to the trim in the back of the house. I did the trim in the front of the house last year, and I never did get on the back of the house. Of course, I'm not going to do the second story. I am not getting up on a tall ladder, but I can at least do the bottom floor of the house. So there's so much left to do, always, because things are always breaking down. They're definitely not improving. That's where I just tried to open the window before I realized I had it paint taped. I think that's why it wouldn't open. I don't know. Anyway, we're just getting it finished up. I didn't really need to open the window anyway. My roller is not that big. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be making a, let's see, what's it called? Summer Harvest bean tortilla soup, which is super good. It's one that all of my girls can eat, so that helps too. And yeah, so that's an easy one pot meal. It's also super economical, not to repeat what I'm going to say to you as I cook it. But I am almost ready to get cooking, and so that feels good too. I should really be painting with gloves on because I always seem to make a mess on my hands, but it comes off pretty easy, and the gloves I find super annoying because they're always slipping off my hands. So no gloves. I'm just going to have to wash up good when I'm done.
Imagine a perfect day, absolutely flawless in every way. That's the day I'm having right now. I pinch my arm to believe. I wish I could stay right here and never leave. Wait up, sundown, wait a while. I don't want this day to end. Wait up, sundown, wait a while before the night descends. All this time, where have you been? I thought I had searched both without and within. I was looking to get wet, standing in the rain. Then you offered your umbrella and everything changed. Wait up, sundown, wait a while. I don't want this day to end.
My camera doesn't pick it up that well because it's just searching for something to focus on. But anyway, it all came out really good. Everything looks nice and fresh. There's just that one wall that I might kind of redo when I get the paint out again. I am making a summer harvest vegetable tortilla soup. I guess it's kind of obvious if it's a summer harvest, it's vegetable. Summer harvest tortilla soup. It calls for a medium zucchini, a yellow onion, red bell pepper, and corn, a can of beans, crushed tomatoes, and the part that makes it tortilla, I guess, we use vegetable broth, which you could use beef broth. Honestly, you could even use chicken broth, but since it's a vegetable soup, it makes sense. We're going to use vegetable broth. But the part that makes it tortilla is that it does have ground cumin and chili powder in it. And they put like tortilla strips on top. I just serve it with Tostitos, and we're happy with that. This is a really big zucchini. So is it summer veggie time? No, but you know, you get them in the grocery store. This is a family favorite. My daughters particularly love it. And it stores really well too for leftovers. It's also very good if you put cheese in it. You know, I let everybody just put cheese in their bowl. That's how they could do it. So I'm going to get all my veggies cut up. I have my beans drained and I've already rinsed them. Sometimes I will not rinse just because I personally think that the bean juice is good for flavor. I love red bell pepper and I love zucchini. I'm just using frozen corn, but of course you could use, it would call for 2 fresh ears of corn if you were doing fresh ears. I have my bathrobe on because after I was done painting, I took a little Netflix break, and just because I was up working, then when I sat down, I got kind of chilled. I thought there's no point in changing. I have my paint clothes on, which basically is pajamas. Those are my paint clothes. After supper, I know I'm going to take a shower, and I'll pretty much be done. My daughters, Yvonne and Crecia, have gone to the store. I didn't do great with my grocery list this week, so they're doing a mid-grocery list. So much for having a $275 week. Just got more expensive. That's okay. We're just going to do the best we can, and I'm going to approve a little bit each week. But Yvonne loves to go grocery shopping, so when she gets home, I'll see if she would like to do the grocery haul, which you would probably see in tomorrow's video. So today we're having, yesterday we had the pot roast, today we're having the summer tortilla harvest soup. Or I'm going to call it something different every time. And then tomorrow, my husband had actually made a homemade pizza crust, so I'll probably make that up. And Crecia had wanted shepherd's pie, so I think I'm just going to make her a little one since I didn't really have a lot of leftovers. And I don't know that, I know Rachel and Yvonne don't eat shepherd's pie. I'm not sure about Ava. I'll have to ask her. So I might just do pizza and then do a little, what did I just say? Oh my, shepherd's pie for Crecia. So I'm going to do the onion and garlic first and saute that with some oil. And I always use avocado oil, but you use whatever favorite oil you like. Oh, I don't have my pan on. I'm using my Dutch oven. I was going to put this in the crock pot, but I never did get around to it. I would have had to saute things anyway, but I would have put it in the crock pot to stay warm, but I just was too anxious to get to the kitchen. Now I'm kind of glad that's what I did because I don't think I would have got as much done, even though I thought I would get a lot more done than I did, but that is always what happens. All right, so let's get the oil. So it says a tablespoon of oil. I like to get my onions sauteing first, and then when they're almost done, I'll add in the garlic. I don't want to worry about the garlic burning. This is an inexpensive soup because you're talking a red bell pepper, one zucchini, one yellow onion, one can of beans. You should get they say 24 ounces of crushed tomatoes. I have petite dice, which is fine, but these are 14 ounce, so I'll use like this can and then, you know, maybe 2/3 of that can. But if you got a 24 ounce crushed, I mean, Store Zone brand, super cheap. And then garlic is 3 cloves of garlic, and you know, pepper, cumin, chili powder. So it is, oh yeah, and don't forget frozen corn. Super economical. Just buy whatever brand's cheapest of the corn. It really doesn't matter. And that's what you're going to be seeing here anymore, probably, is economical meals. I was actually thinking about making my own vegetable stock, vegetable broth. So if you've ever done that, let me know in the comments section. I would love to know. It also calls for sea salt. I'm going to add some now, and I'll add some more later. I actually don't have much. Oh, I guess I'll use the rest of my sea salt. All right, so my onion is almost translucent, so I'm going to add the garlic. Okay, how'd it go?
Well,
Great.
get this, you only spent 189.
I knew you'd have enough.
I was like,
Well,
what? So I was like, I got 190 for you, lady. What? Oh, right. We're not doing this again.
So I'll put the rest of the sea salt in here, as well as the black pepper, which it calls for. Oh, it doesn't say, so we'll just put a little in here. Definitely less is more when it comes to black pepper. Then we're going to put in our cut zucchini, our cut bell pepper. Just cut it to the size you like it in a soup. No big deal. So we're going to get this cooked up. This is so easy to put together. And then my 1.5 cups of corn. So I have 1 red bell pepper, 1 medium zucchini, and 1.5 cups of corn. And I'm going to cook it on medium-high for 10 minutes.
I'll get to the table. You guys don't want to clean up.
I'm going to go ahead and cover it.
Here I am touching the pan, even though I know it's hot, but whatever. See, there I am again. Then I'm taking the lid off. I don't know why I'm in my bathrobe.
Well, because when I was done, I already explained this
Oh,
to the
awkward.
viewers that when I was done eating and I was sitting still, I got chilled.
Oh, wow, that's a first. Did you turn up the heat?
No, I put my bathrobe on.
Mmm, sizzling. Doesn't that smell good?
Do you like vegetables?
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. The soup is bossing. Mm-mm.
I see you went to Dunkin'.
Focus on the soup. We're not done making it. What else is next?
We're gonna do 1 full can
1 full can of tomatoes.
and one that's like 2/3
I don't know why. My
because it
measurements
says
are off.
24 ounces
Oh.
and they're each 14, which would be 28 ounces.
Here I am thinking I know how to scoop.
Yep. 3 cups of vegetable broth
3 cups of vegetable broth.
that we
and-
measure with our heart.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Because you like it.
Let me tell you guys a
Juicy.
secret. One of these is 1 cup.
One of these is 4 cups.
One of these is 4 cups. I don't know what I'm doing here, but here I am pouring some vegetable soup.
Vegetable soup.
Then here I am singing, thinking I'm Beyonce, but really not.
If you like it, then you could.
Okay, I'll edit that out.
Yep. 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder.
How do you guys pronounce your cumin? Because a lot of people say cumin,
Cumin.
right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like they say room instead of room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is that?
1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. Chili, cocoa pa. Chili, pow. And then 2 teaspoons of cumin. What? Whoops. That's And then we are gonna cook that. Bring it to a boil for 10 to 15 minutes. And then we'll put the beans in and let the beans get heated. And then you get to eat it.
And do you guys think that we should make rice or not?
If you want to make rice, you can make rice.
Cree, put some rice on.
I think we should just make like one.
Yes, I think she's wise beyond years.
I thought we should do 2. But one does it.
Yeah, one does it because you also have chips.
Because look at that with some, what is it called? Rice. Okay, bring it to a boil and then what?
Then we add the beans. Well, we bring it to a boil, cook it for 10 minutes, then we add the beans, let the beans heat up, and then it's ready to eat.
Are you forgetting?
I was like, could we? No, I didn't tell
Look
her.
at my shoes. I got these at Walmart. Okay, well, Sister Cree bought them, but still. So cute.
Oh.
Sneak attack. Can you
What are you
see him?
doing? Yeah. Hello. What's he doing in there? Here it is, and then we're just going to put the beans in.